Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. And it's a beautiful sunny summer day in St. Louis, Missouri today. And I hope it's wonderful wherever you are in the world. Today's topic is going to be service. But before I begin with that, smash that like button and subscribe. Welcome to my new subscribers, and I hope you find this of value for you today. Okay. I was going to talk about service, which I am, but I want to talk a little bit about persistence. My son showed me this clip yesterday about, I think they had a group of several successful people and several people who were just, let's say extremely successful millionaires, and then people who worked like at Walmart, McDonald's, different places like that. Nothing wrong with that. Every service is important. Without people there working at those places, we couldn't get our burgers, our fries, and all that food that makes us not too healthy. That's the way I look at it. That stuff's okay once in a while, but if you have a steady diet of that, you probably need to do something about that. But back to service, connections, persistence. So there was one of the men or women on, I think the men said that anybody could be successful. But one of the other people, how do I say, for lack of a better way, the poor people, or the people who had less money, felt that this man became successful because of his connections, and that everybody can't be successful because they don't have connections. And that's what unsuccessful people do. They find a reason, a limitation that is something outside of themselves, and say that their life and the direction of their life is controlled by that. But it's not. This guy he got into real estate. I think he didn't graduate from high school. And he went to over 50 different real estate, they were like meetings or open houses, broker deals or something. But he met a lot of people. And at one he went to, he found a person there that had a real estate office that told him that he could come there and work under him if he liked. So he took advantage of that opportunity. He created his connection. Okay, I would say, listening to this successful man, that if he hadn't have got it on number 50, he would have continued to go to these brokerage meetings until he met the right person. You have to be out there doing something. So the difference there is the unsuccessful person finds a reason, something outside of himself, that he decides limits him from what he wants or she wants, and they use that as an excuse to not even put out the effort to go to 50 or 100 or 150 brokerage meetings. I've been making these videos for well over a year. My subscriber count has slowly risen. It hasn't blown up. Okay, it takes time. I've listened to some of the other YouTube creators, and the ones that are solid, say the same thing. Grant Cardone says the same thing. You have to continue to make videos. You have to continue to put out good content, something that is of value to people. Persistence, perseverance, service. You got to plant the seed before you can expect to get a crop. So many people today want the crop before they plant the seed. First you serve, then comes the rewards. Okay, now when you put that seed in the ground, you don't just put one. When a farmer plants a field of corn, does he plant just one seed? No, he plants thousands of seeds. And guess what kind of harvest he gets? He gets thousands of more ears of corn. Okay, this is an analogy, a comparison, but this is how life works. If you go out here and do a couple things a day for weeks, months, years, eventually that's going to pay off. I think it was Jack Canfield, he said, do 5 things a day towards your goal. That's a good number, but if you just do one thing a day towards your goal, and if a day comes along where you can do more things, do more things, but you have to be persistent and move towards your goal. And a question you want to ask yourself is this: is what I'm doing right now moving me towards my goal or moving me away from my goal or my vision? There is no neutral. You're either moving ahead or you're moving backwards. Think about that whenever you're making choices during the day. And service. You think the most successful people out there are getting up in the morning thinking about what they can get from the world? No. The getting is a result of the service that they provide to people, or the product. The product provides a service. Service is the most important thing that you can provide to build your success. So you have to get out of the mindset of making money and think about what you can provide to humanity as a service. Bill Gates, what has he provided? Service through desktop computers, right? Jeff Bezos, I'm not sure what anyway, he's provided a service. I forgot what he did provide. Elon Musk is providing a service through Tesla, his cars. He wants to make it space travel available for people. So that is a service. Quite an extravagant one, but it looks like he's moving in that direction. Even though he's been knocked down several times. I think a couple of his rockets blew up. He was kind of bad-mouthed, or his mentors or people he looked up to, Neil Armstrong and some of those guys that first landed on the moon. I think they discouraged him from doing what he's doing, and that kind of bummed him out a little bit, but he continued to move forward, providing service with a vision of providing even more service. He also has an idea for some kind of a tube where you can travel like really fast across the United States, or maybe around the world, eventually under the sea. I'm not sure if he's talked about that, but he's probably thought about that. These are all forms of service. If you work at McDonald's or Walmart or one of these places, you are providing a service. All you have to do is increase your level of service. And here's something many people don't want to do. You have to provide the best service in whatever you're doing today. If you work at McDonald's, be the best cook, cashier, whatever it is you're doing. Do more than you're getting paid for. Now, I know your response. You're going to say, well, they don't pay me enough as it is right now. I work my butt off, and I'm not getting, why should I give them more? Because here's how it works. You're planting more seeds. You're giving more. Always do your best. And guess what? The best comes back to you. Now, you may not get it from the boss where you work, but you will get it from the big boss, whether that term means God to you, a universal intelligence, creative intelligence, higher self, whatever. You cannot put anything out into the universe without it coming back to you multiplied. If you continue to give and give, okay, and as I say that, I know some of you are thinking, well, I've been giving and giving to this guy, to that guy, or to this woman, and they never give anything back to me. The problem is you're giving to a person expecting it to come back directly from whoever you're giving it to. That turns into a form of codependency, and yes, that will leave you feeling empty. You have to give freely. Now, there's nowhere that's harder to do than in your personal relationships, especially in your intimate relationship with your significant other. Now, in those cases, you have to see what's coming back to you. Is there reciprocal action? I have a hard time with reciprocity. Is there reciprocal action on the part of your partner? If not, you may need to reevaluate your relationship. If they are able to give back to you, there are people in the world that will just take from you. But even with those people, if you can give without expecting anything in return. Now, that doesn't mean you should continue giving to that person. Sometimes when we give, we actually enable a person. We enable them to continue on with a lifestyle that's not good for them. We must always think about whether what we are giving is helping people. If you're giving extra time at work, you're giving extra service to the customer, to the client. Don't think about the boss. Sometimes we think, well, he's making so much money. Why should I do more for him? You're not doing it for him or her. You're doing it for yourself. Always do your best. Now, does that mean you do a perfect job? No, but always do your best and give more. Plant more seed. and in due time you will reap a harvest. It will come back to you. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over shall be added unto you. You will not have room for it, but you have to give with a spirit of love and give freely, for free and for fun. And it will come back to you. It's like magic. Now you have to try it, and you have to be persistent, persevere. You have to continue to do it day in and day out, and not to expect it back from the people you give to. That's the most important thing, because you will get discouraged if you do that. So remember today, when you have an opportunity to serve and to give more, take advantage of that opportunity. Don't expect someone to thank you. Don't expect someone to pat you on the back, but just know that it will come back to you. But you have to believe that, because when it happens, you may not recognize it. That's what happens. Miracles happen in your life every day. But if you're not open or do not believe that they're going to come to you, you'll miss them. You won't even say them. You'll say, oh, what a coincidence. That just happened. Next time you're at a stop sign, you're trying to make it through and it turns red, but you stop. Don't get pissed off. I have got pissed. Like, I gotta be somewhere. That stoplight may be keeping you from being in a terrible accident. And the reason I bring that up is we can't see the big picture. So just because you're giving and serving today, tomorrow, a week from now, 2 weeks from now, and you see no results, it doesn't mean that they're not on their way. So persevere, be persistent, and continue to give more than you're getting paid for, without resentment, without anger, without frustration, and it will come back to you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. I know from personal experience and from watching other people and seeing what happens with people who give, and also the reverse side of seeing what happens to people who take, who try to get as much as they can. If you take, it will be taken from you. These are universal laws that you cannot negate, you cannot get away from. It's like electricity or gravity. We can see the effects, but we can't see the cause. We see the effects of electricity or gravity, but we really can't see electricity or gravity. It's the same as this law I'm speaking to you of now. You can see the effects of this. You can't see the actual law or the actual energy that practicing this makes things manifest. I don't know if I said that right, but I think you get my picture. If not, leave a comment in the comment section and I'll try to clarify it a little better. Sometimes it's difficult to articulate these things in words that ways I express that can be understood correctly. So I hope I've somewhat explained that to you, and I've done my best today, and I hope that's of value to you. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thanks for joining me. Have a good day.